Hey guys, hope everybody is doing well. It's been a little while since I posted a video. Typically I don't like to steal ideas I see from other channels or things like that, but I noticed a lot of people doing year in review, and I know obviously I'm a little late because the year ended about 10, 11 days ago. But I wanted to go ahead and do one of these videos, talk a little bit about what we did last year, talk a little bit about the plan coming up in 2022 here, and then also just fill you in a little bit on what's going on here and why I haven't been on in a while for those of you that might not be aware. So let's just dive right in. As far as why I haven't been around much lately, starting basically from Thanksgiving of this year until the end of the year, I was pretty sick. Thanksgiving through the middle of December, I had kind of a bad flu. Wasn't totally debilitating, but it was pretty rough. And then within about 24 hours of really starting to feel good from the flu, I got COVID. And so with my immune system just drained from the flu, COVID really took me for a really bad ride. And so unfortunately, the end of 2021 was a very, very, very bad time for me. Not so much with the health stuff. I mean, you know, you get sick, you get better, that's life, or you don't, whatever. But I lost several snakes while I was sick. Like I said, I had a really bad run with the COVID. I had a strip of time for about 10 to 12 days where I couldn't even stand up. I was so sick between vomiting and coughing fits and body aches, and my fever was through the roof and everything else. And so unfortunately during that time, I couldn't have anybody come in the house. I don't really have anybody around that I can count on for that kind of stuff to begin with, but especially with COVID, obviously nobody was going to come in here and risk that in order to take care of the animals. And of course I kept thinking every day, today's the day I'm going to be able to get up and I'm going to be better and it's going to be better, and then it just kept getting worse. And so I did lose several animals over the course of that, which is hard to begin with, but it's really, really hard when it's 100% your fault and you know, you failed those animals. It's not just like, you know, equipment malfunction and stuff, and all that is ultimately our responsibility, but this one is just 100% on me and nothing else. And so I took that very hard, and so part of that is the reason why I haven't been on since I did start feeling better almost 2 weeks ago. But I just really needed some time mentally to kind of just spend with my animals that I do have and get things back in order and get things back together. So I don't want to hang on that too long. Let's move on and talk about last year. So last year we started out the beginning of the year, first video at Exotic Design Reptiles with Eric, looking at some really cool ball python projects that he has. It's really cool because Eric is here in Connecticut. He's on the other side of the state from me. So it is quite a ride, but it was funny when I was in Daytona, I ran into Eric down there, and it's always funny when, you know, people from kind of your backyard you see so far away. I have people that literally live close to me I've never met, but I met out at Tinley, and it's just always weird how that works within the community. So that's where we started the year. We ended the year, the last video that we really did was you guys picking the pairing for my skunk line female, which you guys selected Charlie Murphy. They have been breeding very successfully. I'll throw up a couple of pictures here if I have them on my phone so that you guys can see that pairing going. Pairings overall are going very well. I have paired up 7 different females this year and gotten 6 pairs to lock. The only pair that has not locked for me this season has been my T-positive 007 to my big T-positive female. Now, when he did get Raiden last year, it was 1 quick lock and that was it, and I just happened to catch him. So it's possible that he's been sneaky again this year, and we'll see what happens. But the Sumatran pairing Midnight Rider to Morticia have locked twice. My T-positive Batik to the Matrix Het T-positive have locked several times. Orion to Electra several times. Atlas to both Lilith and Callisto several times. And then, who am I forgetting? 2 Bronx, 1, 2, 1. No, I got everybody. That's everybody. That's all 7 girls. So that's all I've paired up for this year. Held back everything else to go next year. Just I like to have a constant rotation of animals. So animals like Raiden are off this year. Sambuca is off again this year. She may never breed again. We'll see how it goes. With her age, I'm really kind of managing it year to year and going from there. As far as what we did on the channel this year, I thought we did a lot of really great stuff. I didn't get to travel as much as I would have liked to. I do want to say thank you to Eric at Exotic Design Reptiles, Jason at Jason's Exotic Reptiles, and Ro Morphs Dan for having me over there, and Nerd, Kevin, Jeremy, and Rob especially for letting me go up there and shoot some content. Those are the only places we really went to this year. Also want to give a thank you to Rich Crowley, Matt Minatola, Rob again, and Dylan for participating when we did the clip video and talking about different short-tailed python and blood python things where I had them answer the question. And one thing I want to do going forward into 2022 is I have an idea for a video series where I'm going to try to involve some other people around the hobby again. I'm sure they'll be very excited to hear that. So I do plan on doing that again, and I don't want to spoil what that video is just yet, but I do have some video ideas. I have some that I was working on before I got sick, which I'm still going to do. We're going to get into a little bit of blood and short-tailed pythons, talking about them holding their stool, and talk about some of my reasoning on why I think that happens and why I think other people's hold them longer than mine do, because I don't have a lot of problem with that. I couldn't tell you the longest mine have ever gone, but it's not all that long. Typically mine do pretty good, and they don't hold it for super long periods of time. So I'm going to talk about why I think that is in my collection versus maybe why some other people are seeing problems. So we'll do a video on that. I also have the video I was talking about with getting the people together. And then I'm going to do a video on soaking snakes and kind of deep dive into that a little bit, or maybe not so much deep, but a little more than just like, hey, I'm soaking a snake and whatever, and talk about reasons why you do that, reasons why you shouldn't, different things like that. I think that could be a useful video. As far as videos last year, the least successful video on the channel had 232 views, and that was episode 89 on breeding flexibility. The most successful video last year, which had over 6,500 views, was episode 64, All Things Blood Python. In total last year, I did 64 videos with an average view per video at 670.5. Now, obviously, I only counted videos that were done and posted last year and their count, because some other videos that were residual might have done better or worse or whatever, but those were videos from the previous year in 2020, and so I didn't want to count those, obviously. As always, I am open to ideas for videos. Try to be creative, try to think of ideas that people haven't done and things that are easy enough to do in a maybe 8 to 15 minute window, because that's really what you want to shoot for as far as people's attention spans and things like that. Also, coming up soon, we're going to do some more live streams. We're going to do some giveaways. I worked out a deal with somebody. They approached me as far as sponsoring the channel, and in lieu of compensation, I decided to get some merchandise from them to give away to you guys. I figured it's a good way to double down for them on promotion. And obviously, anything that I'm going to agree to promote is something that I believe in. So that if I'm promoting that stuff, it's not because of the compensation, it's because I believe in it. Somebody could offer me a ton of compensation, and if I don't believe in them or their product, then you're not going to see me doing that. It's just not worth it to me. Integrity is really all we have. Obviously, honesty is important to me, which is why I share with you guys when I have losses, when I make mistakes. For me to hide that might make me look better to some people, but those are really the wrong people ultimately. And also, how does that help the community grow? How does that help you take better care of your animals if I'm not telling you, well, here's what I'm doing and this didn't work and here's why. Maybe I don't know why, but at least sharing that information and getting it out there can help others. So in this case, my biggest mistake was not having a proper contingency plan in place if something happened to me where I was unable to do what I do normally. Obviously outside of COVID, there were some people that would have come here and helped. I don't really have anybody that's close enough to me that can handle all these animals without too much of a problem, especially the bigger white lip male. And I have a couple of short tails that are pretty difficult, especially with strangers. But that's something I got to be better for in the future, and obviously plan a little bit better part of that plan is me wanting to move, which a lot of you know I've wanted to do for a while. Hopefully 2022 is going to be that year. I'm hoping that these females will go this year. I'll have a good season, be able to make some sales, pay off some debt, and get myself into a position to be able to take an opportunity to get out of here and get somewhere where I can live near someone that's also versed in these animals. And then it's good for both of us. I can help them if they go down. They can help me if I go down. And, plus it's just cool to have people that are into the same hobbies as you, right nearby. Right now, the closest people I have that are even in the hobby are at least a half hour, if not more. So it'll be nice to have that. We talked about the best and worst video. We talked a little bit about 2022. Obviously, for right now, I'm still sticking with that 100 video mark to see where things are at. That's part of the reason I broke down all the statistics for last year. I want to see those statistics moving up, or at least staying level. And I'm going to try to put out some good content over the next few videos and really give us a good chance at doing that. So as always, if you guys can share videos that you like, go back and watch old videos when you have a chance, comment on them. You can like those videos if you haven't liked them. All that stuff helps boost the channel. And the more you boost, the more the algorithm, the more it grows, the better it does. And the better it does, the more I'm able to put time and energy into this. So I want to do that for the community and for myself. I think it's a good platform to show off the animals and how wonderful I think they are, while not hiding the fact that, sometimes some of them are crabby and whatever else. So make sure you leave a comment on this video. Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Tell me some things you want to see here in 2022. Tell me some things you liked and didn't like from 2021. The more information you give me, the better I can kind of, narrow down the content or move the channel in the direction you guys want to see, within reason. I'm not going to do feeding videos. I'm not going to do sensationalism. I'm not going to do anything that's going to show these animals in a negative light, especially when it's premeditated, handling them in a manner that's going to make them strike. You're not going to see any of that crap here because it's bullshit, it's ridiculous, and I don't like it. And it's bad for the animals, it's bad for the hobby, it's bad for our image. And every single thing that I do, I try to look at how it's going to affect the hobby and how it's going to affect our ability to keep these animals. The last thing I want to do is be a part of the reason that we can't keep these animals, and some people just don't seem to care, and that's not going to be me. So that stuff's not going to happen, but I'm going to cut this short. I'm going to try to put together a new intro video soon, something that I like a little bit better, still keep it nice and short and concise, but we'll see if I get some time to do that. Until next time, we'll see you guys. Let me know what you think. We'll talk to you.